Rick always used to say to me that it matters less in life, and probably said this to many of you, probably a lot of times. Used to always say, it matters less what you do in life, and it matters more who you spend it with. And I couldn't think of a better way to spend this morning than honoring Dr. Rick Hall.
Rick Hall has been everywhere and done everything at a couple of universities. I believe the only thing I could find that he has not done, I don't believe he has ever processed a urinalysis, but I think he has done just about everything else, and from health matters to grounds to everything. And I had to make a list of his 14 years. So among these things, inter alia, we have career services, university counseling, the police department, the bookstore, the bookstore, the bookstore, student health services, university housing, STARS 101, Relay for Life, the Clara Looper Scholarship Program, the American Indian Scholarship Program, and the renovation of this very building. Now that's not everything, but those are some of the mountain peaks. He is also a teacher, and he has been concerned with leadership, that elusive quality that seems to be especially elusive in our society today.
On behalf of the students, what I would like to say is something short and brief. What Rick Hall has, as President Henry even mentioned, is that he's a great teacher. I think one of the most talented things he has is having the ability to take passionate people, which, as many of you guys know, when you get passionate people in a room, it's hard to get them to play along. But he is able to get passionate people to work together and to realize that the answer isn't no, it's just, how do we get this accomplished? How do we work together and make this be something that's possible?
Do not pray for easy lives. Pray to be stronger men. Change is the law of life. Those who look to the past or present are certain to miss the future.
I think one of the things I'll always bring with me that I learned from Dr. Hall is he always said, the best gift I can give you all is each other. And look around. This room is filled with such amazing people, such people that we can learn from, and we can learn so much from. And I think there's no other example, no better example than Dr. Hall.
We'd like to present to you the first ever SGA Legacy Award.
Half of what you learn here at OCU does not happen in the classroom. And Dr. Hall was a huge advocate of that type of learning environment. And to him, mistakes were not mistakes, they were learning opportunities. So when you would throw an SGA event and no one would show up and you were real sad, and he would have you come into his office and sit you down, and every single time you would end up feeling better than you were when you came in. Dealing with students every day is not necessarily an easy job. And we were kind of, I would say we were divas, the sky is falling mentality. And there were more than once that you would have an impromptu, late night meeting, because that was the only time that you could schedule get everyone's schedules together. And Rick would be there, and he would be nodding, and he would help out, and then he would leave, drive back to Norman, and be right back here in the morning at the gym at 6 a.m. And to have that level of dedication, you really have to enjoy what you're doing and feel like you're making a difference, and you absolutely were.
Well, this is a little overdone, don't you think? It's difficult for me to speak about myself when that's all we've heard. So I really need to speak about you and tell you how honored I am that you're here, how grateful I am to be honored in such a way. I feel incredibly fortunate to have worked with so many wonderful students. Students are really the whole focus of my life for the last 40 years, and I don't know that I started out thinking I'm going to be focused on students. I wasn't that planful. I'd like to think I was, but that's a joke. I was hungry mostly and glad to have a job, and then it worked to my advantage, and my talents were helpful in that process. So I think about all the students that I've come in contact with, and I've said this too often, and to most of you, students are the most reasonable people on a college campus. Just saying. We have lots of different constituency groups, and almost every one of them, including students, think they're in charge. But students in particular are reasonable, they're smart, they understand nuance quickly, they are learning from all of us, so if you don't think they're paying attention, you're naive, they are. So you better show them the best side, because they'll learn the good with the bad. And so for the great students in my life, I thank all of you for that opportunity to connect with them.